Hello, my name is Robert, and today I'm going to be taking you through how to fix an error related to the Crowdstrike blue screen of death. This is an issue that a lot of IT technicians like myself and just IT people and people in general have been dealing with over the past 9 days or so, ever since the 19th, last Friday the 19th, when CrowdStrike issued the update that caused what Microsoft estimates to be about 8.5 million computers to blue screen. So while we are a good chunk of the way there, we are not out of the woods yet, particularly with 8.5 million machines affected, and there not being a way to just automatically script the process for the most part. A lot of these machines in cases have to be manually touched in order to get fixed. So for those of you that are unfamiliar, if you haven't been watching the news over the last 9 days from about the 19th onward. What CrowdStrike is a security software that a lot of like Fortune 500 and enterprise type environments use, especially a security software. On Friday the 19th, they pushed out a faulty update that caused the computer to blue screen because of where the code is executed from in the Windows operating system, just basically because of what the update was and what it exactly tried to do. It caused the system to blue screen over and over again, so a lot of people got stuck on the recovery options menu. What that was ultimately caused by is a faulty update that CrowdStrike pushed out, the vendor for Falcon sensor. And the file itself is located at C Windows System 32 drivers CrowdStrike. And what we need to do is we need to delete these files right here that start with C hyphen and then 50291.sys. Basically, any file that starts with that, that's what we want to delete and get rid of. And you will see the full file path right here. If I click on it, C Windows System 32 drivers CrowdStrike. Now, full disclosure, this is not an actual machine that was affected by the issue. I just created this virtual machine as a quick demonstration model, just basically to show you the different ways that you can get through this and get around this. But what I'm going to show you first is what you would initially see in the recovery options menu. So in, in order to get this virtual machine to go there, I'm going to type recovery options. Yep, recovery, and then recovery, recovery, recovery options right here. And then I'm going to hit where it says advanced startup and restart now. Okay, we're going to hit restart now, and the computer is going to restart. You see the VMware logo because, as I said, this is a virtual machine. Now it's saying please wait, although we really don't have much of a choice. And this is the common window that a lot of people who were initially having this issue would see on the 19th. You know, they went to bed and in the morning they saw Windows ran into a problem and then they ended up at the advanced options menu. But you're going to hit see advanced options. It's going to bring you to this menu right here and you're going to want to click on troubleshoot. Whatever you do, do not hit reset this PC because what that is going to do is it's going to restore the computer back to as if it were just a factory standard Windows installation, basically. Just anything that Microsoft would have put on it directly from the factory. It's going to remove any like custom applications that were imaged onto it and put onto it, which is a bad thing when you work in a corporate environment where they deploy a lot of customized images and software that people need specifically for doing their jobs. So do not click on the option to reset this PC. Instead, please click on advanced options. And you have one of two options here. The two options that work best are either to click on command prompt to manually delete the files or do a system restore. I'm gonna I'm gonna click on command prompt. Now, under normal circumstances, if this is an enterprise computer, it more than likely has BitLocker enabled, so it more than likely would have prompted you for a recovery key. I'm going to show you how to locate that particular recovery key to be able to bypass that screen and get to this. But I'm going to minimize this virtual machine window, and we're just going to do that by clicking right here. And I went to, because I'm just doing this on my personal computer and I have a personal Microsoft account, I went to Microsoft.com, but the process should work the same, although you may have to go to a website called mysignins.microsoft.com, and I'll leave a link in the video notes. But I went specifically to Microsoft.com. If you go over here to the right-hand side, you will see an option to sign in. Because I already have, my name is there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and then click on my Microsoft account. And then I'm going to go ahead and click where it says devices. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit where it says see details for PC, because this is a virtual machine I created earlier just to show this process. And then I'm going to hit manage recovery keys. And what that is going to show me is this window right here. How you will know if you have the correct recovery key. The correct recovery key is you're going to see something that says key ID on the left-hand side there. If the first 8 letters of that recovery key match where it says recovery key ID on your screen, then this is the correct key. What you're going to want to do is type in that key. It will then bring you to a window much like this one if you hit command prompt. But what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to navigate to the folder where the Crowdstrike update was located in order to delete the necessary files. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to, and I do recommend doing this just one step at a time. Just you can type the full file path all at once. I would just recommend doing it step by step just to make sure that you're in the right spot, just to make sure that nothing goes wrong. What you're going to do is hit C and then colon, because you'll notice there it says X. The files we need to delete are not on the X drive. That's just a symbol that gets put there by Windows because that's the recovery environment. But we're going to want to hit C colon and then enter. What that is going to do is it's going to take us to the root of the C drive itself, because you see there it just says C colon backslash. And then when I want to go to CD Windows, and then enter. And then when I want to go to CD System 32, and system and 32 was all one word, system and the number 32, enter again. And then when I want to go to drivers, I forgot to do we got to do CD first, and then drivers. CD stands for change directory, so that tells it I'm looking for something inside of the system 32 folder. Drivers, and then enter. And then from there, just as a final step, we can go to where it says Crowdstrike. Okay, now we are in C / Windows / System 32 / drivers / Crowdstrike. You can do a CD C colon and then the whole file path, but I would recommend doing it just step by step, one at a time, so that you know that you're in the correct folder path for deleting the files, because if you delete the wrong files out of here, things can go dicey. So just do this step by step just to make sure that you're in the correct folder in here, just to make sure that you're in the right spot. Now that we are in C, Windows, System 32 drivers, Crowdstrike, what we're going to want to do is type del and then space C hyphen 5 zeros and then 291 asterisk dot sys. Okay, and so now what this command will do is it's essentially going to tell Windows to delete any file that starts with C hyphen the 5 zeros 291 and ends in a dot sys extension. If you recall from the beginning of the video, there were two files in that folder that had that extension. We're going to go ahead and hit enter, and then it's just going to take us right back to just the regular folder. It's not going to throw any errors. This is perfectly normal, what it should do. I'm just going to go ahead and close this window, and then I'm just going to go ahead and hit continue, and then Windows is going to boot up normally. This is a VM, so that's why it's on VMware. It's going to boot normally. And then you can see my window here. I'm just going to go ahead and enter my password real quick. Okay, and then if we did the job correctly, if the corrupted update got removed, we should, if we go in here to see Windows, okay, I have see Windows System 32 drivers, and then Crowdstrike. You will now see that that folder is empty, which means we have successfully deleted the two files that contain the corruption, that contain the error. And that's essentially how you fix this. You delete the corrupted update file. Another option, another way to fix this that is more simple and straightforward is just to do a system restore. And I'm going to show you that option next. I just showed you this option first because that is the definitive fix for this, and that works. That is basically your only option if you do not have any system restore points, which a couple times when dealing with this issue, I did come across that, so we had to run the manual fix, and the manual fix always works. I just wanted to go over this just because it's simpler, it's easier than doing the other thing, but the other thing is what you're going to have to do. What I showed you first is what you're going to have to do if you don't have any restore points available on your system. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to, I'm going to go into, again, because this machine doesn't have that issue, it's not going to automatically go into the recovery screen. But I'm going to go down here into recovery options again. I'm going to go to advanced startup, restart now. And by the way, if you want to get into the advanced repair mode, if Windows is just like blue screening, if you start to boot it up and then shut it down like 2 or 3 times, it should automatically go into the advanced repair menu on the recovery options menu instead of manually doing what I'm doing here. But before shutting it off and then turning it back on should allow you to go into the advanced options menu. When hit C advanced options and then troubleshoot and then advanced options again. And then this time we're going to hit system restore. It's going to take us right here. We're going to go next. You will see something that says similar to this Crowdstrike install. The reason you're seeing this has the date of 7/28 is just because that's the date that I recorded this video. But if you're actually doing this for real, you're going to want to make sure that the date and time is sometime before the 19th because that's when CrowdStrike deployed the update that basically broke everything. So you're going to want to make sure that the restore point that you're restoring to is from before the 19th because that will revert the system back to a point before the update was deployed and should fix the issue. But what you're going to want to do is go in here, select this, and hit next, finish, yes, okay, and then it's going to go through that whole process. It's going to say initializing, restoring files, Okay, restoring files. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video while it does the whole restoring files bit so that you just don't have to sit here and watch it paint dry basically, and I'll start it back up when this is complete. Okay, after the restore point successfully went through, it should say something like system restore was completed successfully, and then prompt you to restart. It may also, to be fair, also indicate that it wasn't completed successfully, but still enough of the files may have been restored that that corrupted update got removed, so it's still worth restarting to see if the computer boots normally. But normally, if a system restore was successful, this is the message that should appear. But even if it says it wasn't, please go ahead and restart. And Windows is just going to load normally. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and restart. Again, because it's a virtual machine, that pops up. Now the Windows logo. And you should be able to, provided everything worked correctly, you should now be able to get back to a regular window and log in. And once again, you can verify that those files are gone under, it will say system restore completed successfully. You can close to that. And once again, just to verify that everything is copacetic, you don't have to do this if your system is booting normally and behaving like it should. But once again, a good way just to verify that the problem files are gone, if you just want to be sure, is to come in here and go to C, Windows, System 32 drivers, and then go back into the Crowdstrike data folder. And you should now see that that folder is empty. Not completely empty, but necessarily, but files that start with C hyphen those 5 zeros 291 and then end in .sys should no longer be in that file. And if Windows is booting normally, chances are good that they're not, but they should not no longer contain the corrupted update file. And those are the two ways that you fix this. I would recommend doing the system restore one first because it's the one that involves the least amount of technical knowledge and know-how because this affected a lot of people and because a lot of people don't know the specifics of how to fix this. They just know how to use their computer on a daily basis. I would recommend doing the system restore one first, but the reason I showed you the command line one first is because you're going to have to do that one if you don't have enough at enough if you don't have system restore points on your system, and if you have trouble finding your recovery key or your a Bitlocker recovery key, I would reach out definitely to your local tech specialist, your local IT people, to see what they can do for you. And I'm one such person. I hope you found this video helpful. Have a good day. Bye bye.